VYAPT Growth Series is becoming synonym of hope. Our belief is keeping us afloat. The next 5 months are crucial as the economy accelerates and we see an actual jump in various transactions and hence employment. Adaptability and flexibility are reaching to heights we had never imagined. Use of high-end technology is a norm today. Our compulsion is an opportunity to flourish. But as we try to fit into new models, citing the need of the hour, we also see a lot of challenges in our personal space. Companies are co-creating culture and various transformations to excel in the new business landscape. As we see our struggle between normal and new normal, between uncertainty and our pathways, we see various leaders embracing empathy, compassion, and commitment to guide and shape people in this turbulence. In VYAPT's Growth Series today, we have with us one such leader who leads from the front, showcasing both heart and mind side and displaying grit, determination, and great discipline. We have with us Mr. Amit Gossain, MD of KONE, India and South Asia. Amit, with around 3 decades of experience, has been instrumental in his contribution towards growth and improving business performance. Welcome to the show, Amit.
Thank you very much, Pankaj, and thank you for the introduction as well. Thank you.
We start with our first curiosity. And my first curiosity is, what are the growth prospects of elevators and the escalator industry amid the disruption we are seeing worldwide?
Well, we've seen disruption like never before. After the 1920s, this kind of pandemic has only happened now, and very unexpected as well. But the way it's gone across the world is quite amazing. But what I see is today, people are, like you mentioned, getting used to the new normal. They have now started venturing out because they know that businesses and economies have to run. We've had lockdowns which are very, very important. And they were important because people had to understand social distancing. They had to understand this pandemic can spread. This virus is a virus which can spread very easily. Therefore, people have become very careful across the world. Initially, of course, few months, it was very difficult for the world. In India, we got it a little late. So I won't talk about the whole world, how it's going to go. But in my view, India and South Asia, people are now going back to business. They want the economies to run. The government wants the economy to run. The state governments want the economy to run. So what's happening is when people are starting business, I'm not sure whether it's going to just peak now. It will take time. Things will pick up. I think in another 1 or 2 months, you'll find 60% of the real estate coming back. And in about another 3 to 4 months, I'll probably say there won't be a hockey stick effect, but there will be a small U. And things will start getting back to normal. And in about 6 to 7 months, I think we'll be almost back to normal. I hope there is a vaccine. If there is a vaccine, it will be much better than normal because we'll have to meet and actually exceed the demand that this vacuum of the last 3 months has created. But if there is no vaccine, pandemic continues, I'm sure it will get back to almost the normal scene that it is today. And that's extremely important.
Amit, you sound very optimistic about the kind of markets coming up once again. Is there any basis of it, or are you comparing with the kind of recession we had in 2008?
So my basis is simple. See, the recession of 2008 and 9 was a very natural financial crisis. And if you see, our Indian financial system was still strong and we got through it very quickly. But this one's a pandemic that we don't even know what the future is going to look like. Because we don't know, people have to get back to their lives and find a new normal, which is what we call the new normal. Therefore, I feel that, with this new normal that people are looking at, they want their economies to flourish and be as fast as what it was before. But taking all the precautions of being safe and ensuring this doesn't spread anymore. So let's say if you have paid for a house, you want your house. And if you want your house, you want the builders to start building. The builder wants to sell the house because he also wants the money now. So all these houses which are stuck in the real estate, residential, the builder is trying to complete it because he wants the money from you for a buyer. I want the money from the builder for my elevators and escalators. So I'll ensure that he's supported 100%. That we are doing at the moment. So therefore, I think it will be a fast rebound. It won't be a hockey stick effect because people are still unsure of the long-term future, but it will be a good U-turn to the whole cycle. And if there is a vaccine, like I said, the U-turn could become a hockey stick effect. Short term, we've had a lot of problems because of the pandemic. The business has stopped. Medium term, the government has taken, Indian government, the global governments are taking a lot of steps to ensure that there is liquidity. Financially, the companies are helped. Long term, we will definitely find a solution or live a new life, and because of which it will all be normal. And I think the demand is going to pick up.
You've given a very nice example of a circular economy wherein we all are dependent on each other. But one thing which clearly differentiates this industry from many other is the kind of innovation you have. Because as we see, the innovation is a core to this industry. And so what are the futuristic business you see in this industry, and maybe your advice for budding tech entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so when you look at our elevator and escalator industry, there are a lot of different innovations that different companies are coming up with. The way construction is going to be done is also going to be very different because there will be some social distancing norms in the way construction is going to be done, at least in the short or medium term. Long term, I'm assuming things will all settle down and it will all be okay. So that's one innovation. People would look at health and well-being solutions. Okay, now in the last 3 months, what have we done? We suddenly realized that everybody wants to not touch buttons. So we've come up with a touchless elevator. You can easily, with a WhatsApp call to the elevator, call the elevator and take it to a different floor. So this is all done very, very quickly. We've come up with hand sanitizers and handrail sanitizers. So in escalator, you can touch the handrails. But if you touch the handrail, then there is a problem. So we've got a UV kind of a system where it automatically sanitizes the handrails of escalators. We've got an air purifier that ensures the particles fall down on the ground. If somebody sneezes in an elevator, I believe the particles stays there for a period of time, but then it will come on the ground. So we ourselves have come up with a lot of innovations, and that's required. But these are short-term innovations. However, they will continue to be the norm for at least the medium term, or I'll say at least 6 months to 1 year. And there is a lot of demand for it. Long term, there are a lot of innovations which companies are coming forward with. We ourselves have come up with a lot of aesthetics. In India, we have an elevator that meets the Vastu norms, for instance, because Vastu is a big thing in India. We have Navaratna kind of aesthetic design because Navaratna is very famous. So we've got the 9-gem theory designed for us. But more importantly, how do you connect all the elevators? And that is what all elevator companies are looking at today. How do you connect all the escalators to the cloud? So that there is preventive or predictive maintenance. So that the maintenance guy doesn't have to go, that Superman of maintenance or the superhero that we call our maintenance engineers doesn't have to go all the time and see and check the elevator. It can be all checked remotely. So what we have is 24/7 monitoring services. We monitor everything online, and we actually know what's going to happen to the elevator even before a problem occurs. And I can tell you, Pankaj, there's a lot of demand for that, because in today's times more so, because people don't want you to come to their apartments or houses very often. So if you know that you only have to go when there is going to be a problem, then our mechanic goes. And our mechanic also knows exactly what the problem is going to be. So 24/7 is extremely good. In fact, for this pandemic, we've given 24/7 free of cost to all the hospitals, because we know that hospitals' safety is of prime importance. So few things that our industry will look at is making elevators and escalators absolutely world-class safe, which they are at the moment, I can assure you, but it's safety like never before. The quality parameters will keep improving, and it will be all connected through the cloud. We also had a lot of other innovations. There were geared elevators before, now they're all gearless. For manual door elevators, you've seen in many of the, in fact, even some of the local manufacturers are producing those manual door elevators. They're dangerous. They can harm your fingers. So that is all obsolete technology now globally, and for us at least, we don't produce that anymore. So these innovations have already happened, but more you'll see more and more innovations coming up.
Okay. So Amit, we are seeing the traditional belief along with the technology coming up as part of your innovation in escalators as well as elevators. Very nice. In fact, deep perspectives what we are getting. So one more curiosity what we have, to add on our last curiosity. What are the employment prospects as we talk about the growth of this segment in South Asia?
See, South Asia, of course, with the current real estate status, which was really bad during the lockdown, which was but natural, the employment prospects have only just not been there too much. No new employment generation. But I think medium to long term, the real estate is going to flourish because there are more houses required. The government of India is looking at housing for all by 2022. Might be pushed back by a year or so. There will be a lot of houses. Commercial buildings are doing very well because there's more and more investment now, of course, coming to India. So commercial buildings will be there. So I think in the short term, I would say that people will start, feeling and getting to grips with the pandemic. Medium term, 6 to 8 months, employment generation will again start, and long term, it's going to be huge. It is real estate, along with our elevator and escalator industry, is one of the largest employment generators in the country. I think that growth of employment will be much higher. Therefore, it's very important for the government, for all the private companies like us, to ensure that there is optimum training and there's continuous training given to the people. NSDC plays a very critical role here, and therefore skilling would be very important. So I think long term there will be a lot of employment generation in India and South Asia, including Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh.
Wonderful. So these perspectives are giving us really hope that the next 5-6 months or an year is going to be very exciting for us and also to your industry. Now we have a curiosity which is to do with you and nothing to do with your organization. So when we talk in today's sense, we see people are a lot courageous. So they are courageous enough to chase their dreams. But even then, many lack inspiration. Can you share something from your life that has helped you achieve amidst a plethora of challenges which you would have faced along the way?
Yeah, Pankaj, to tell you frankly, one thing which I now really look at is to find an inspiration a day. What is that one thing that is being differently which is inspiring? Everybody gets inspired by the parents, by some of your teachers, and of course, if you're in a working environment, mostly through your colleagues or generally through your superior or your boss, who can be very inspirational and charismatic. I've been very lucky in the last many years to have bosses that are very inspirational and very good. Now, when I look at an inspiration a day, what I mean is what's been truly inspiring. When this pandemic hit us, 10-12 days was really down for everybody. Prime Minister was an inspiration. I don't particularly follow a party, but I think the way he came one day and said Janta curfew, I think everybody followed him, whether people from his party or not from his party, it didn't matter.
Correct.
Very inspirational speech. The way it was done, and India clapping for everybody is very inspirational. Similarly, what I found inspiration is after about 10 days, I got a video from a customer who actually showed that one of our technicians dressed up with complete PPEs, with his face mask, he had to fix an elevator. He went there, fixed it, and was going out. They asked him to stay and come to the main garden, and everybody came to the balcony to clap for him. He didn't realize this. That video was sent to us, and I thought that person himself was an inspiration. So I sent out a video to all our technicians with a clap for all of them, and I think he was an inspiration. And what I noticed was all our technicians were ready to go out in the market. We are emergency services. They were ready to go serve the customers to ensure that that there is absolutely no problem with the KONE elevators and escalators. I think that itself was very inspirational for me. Second inspiration I draw is from my colleagues in KONE, and I found my own colleagues here, whoever reports to me, they were all self-starters. I just tell them, let's do this, and they're all in the process of doing it. They have their own meetings, and the final result is out. I've had a lot of experience with various companies, but I think the team at KONE that I'm working with, I draw inspiration per day from them as well. So I find an inspiration every day, and I think if somebody is looking for an inspiration, it can be anything. It can be your employee in your case. It could be a colleague you're working with, or it could be most of course your seniors that you work with. But I think you can easily draw inspiration and motivation to go. So how you think and how you take life. If you go with a positive, inspirational mindset, you'll find an inspiration.
Amit, you have been humble in saying all these things, but let me come to an exact question. Okay, let me ask you, if a person seeing all these things, okay, and as of now he has lack of resources and he want to become somebody like you, what is that few traits you would like to probably share with him? That okay, so probably if these are the traits you would carry and you would not compromise on those traits, then probably someday you would be even successful like me or even better than me.
One important thing is there is no substitute for hard work. Okay, intelligence levels can vary, but really, if you continue to work hard, and I'm not saying just always look for a goal, that's important, where you want to be and what are your ambitions, and everybody's got a different ambition. The second thing is empathy. As you grow in a leadership position, you need to empathize with the people. And one thing I believe in, if you are a leader of any kind, you could be a leader of 10 people or of 100 people, or we've got 5,000 people in India. It's also important that one thing which gives you happy customers and a good return of investment is happy employees, satisfied employees, and motivated employees. So your first, I think from my perspective, if it's a small entrepreneur who's starting a business with few people, are his employees very motivated and happy is what he's got to look at. Are they self-charged? And that's what I've done. One thing I said, one inspiration I learned from my boss was, he said, don't do everything yourself because you can't. How do you effectively delegate that the people are happily doing their work? And are they happy in doing that work? Look for that. And that's what I've seen. I think if you actually, in my view, if you follow that, I think entrepreneurs can become bigger companies and they can start employing more people. And I think when you start generating employment, you see happy faces, you feel happy yourself. So that's something that I really think. So happy employees give happy customers, and that will give you happy stakeholders, which will give you better return on investment.
So these were the views of Amit, sharing, how you can become big, what are the traits which is required, some resilience, some hard work. And at the same time, he believes as a leadership that it is important to delegate and catalyze your people so that they themselves can work hard and achieve their dreams. Thank you so much, Amit, for being with us in VYAPT Growth Series. It was really a pleasure to interact.
Thank you, Pankaj, and thank you for the opportunity as well, and wish you all the best. Your series are very inspirational for sure, and I hope I've been able to instill some hope and inspiration, which we'll see later. Thank you.